Hi, you're live with Victoria. So as we discussed, we're going to do some party nails. This evening I'm actually going to a Christmas party and the theme is black and gold. So I wanted to show you something that's quite easy to do that you can pretty much do on yourself and for your clients. Quite simple and quite straightforward, okay? So what I'm going to do is firstly, I've done my other nail, so you can see you've got a rose sort of. It's called a rosebud, but it's like a peachy colour as a base, which is really good for covering any imperfections or any marks that are on the natural nail just slightly. And also it's good for covering up the natural smile line underneath. Then over the top of that, I've done the black in the smile line, but created more of a V than a round shape, which is really quite effective for party nails. Over the top of the black, I've just added a glitter. And this is all done in the gel, so I'm going to show you this. And then just on 2 fingers and also on the thumb, I've added some black little gems or rhinestones onto the top and then sealed it with a clear gel. So I'm going to show you step by step. So we're going to do the thumb, so bear with me. If you can't see the nail, just comment below so I can move for you, or if you've got any questions throughout, please comment below and I will do my best to answer, or I'll come straight back to you. So firstly, I've prepped the nail, I've filed it, I've wiped it over. I'm then just going to put my clear base on. So keep your base nice and thin. So it doesn't matter what gels you're working with. I would always say work with a coloured gel. You could even do this with your gel polishes if you've already got them. Just make sure you cap whatever gels you're working with. Always cap and seal. Make sure you've got none on the side walls or surrounding skin. So it's going to go under my LED lamp, but if you're working with a UV, obviously just check your timings. So that's my base, and then my first layer is going to be with my, as I said, this is called a rosebud, but you can see it's just like a creamy sort of peachy colour. It's got a very, very slight shimmer to it. It looks really, really pretty for this party season. The glitter really, really sparkles, but it's not too much. It can be quite subtle as well. Not everybody is going to want full-on glitzy nails, so just think about offering different things for your clients, really. Okay, so first things, I'm going to load my brush up. I tend to do 2 layers of this colour because the lighter colours sometimes can come across quite transparent and see-through in certain places of the nails. A bit like when you just do your normal polishing, you always need your 2 layers. So just keeping it nice and thin, obviously leaving that gap all the way around the side walls. Cap the ends of the nails and the sides. Don't make it too thick because obviously you've got to add the black and the glitter in as well after this. So you don't want to build the nail up too much. So it's just my first layer. Pop it under. So it will be slightly transparent, don't panic. And then when you do your second layer, it will build it up slightly more. If you've got a more pinkier colour, you could use it, but this sort of peachy colour works really well with the black and gold. It really sets it off, ready for your party nails. But as I said, you can do it with any colours that you want to. You could do it with red and black if you wanted to, especially for the party season. Red, black and gold works really, really well. So I'm just going to pop on my second layer. Just work it over. And a lot of people, when I'm teaching, they'll always say they find these kind of colours the hardest to apply to get an even coverage. And they are difficult. So all I would say is just keep your brush quite flat. Don't play with it too much. Don't make it too thick. And to avoid getting those brush strokes, just give the gel sort of a few minutes just to level itself out before it goes under the lamp. And as I'm doing it, I just check the nail from the side profile as well to make sure I haven't got any ridge around the side walls, around the cuticle. And again, just make sure you're capping as you're going. Obviously, if you don't cap, you're likely to get the lift in. So just pop it under. Okay, I'm happy with that one. Going to move that pot out of the way. Clean your brush. So when you come to do the black tip, you can either do it with your wider brush, or sometimes I find if the nail's a little bit shorter, use a slightly thinner brush. It's much easier then to create that smile line. And as I said, you can do it as a smile line, or you can do it as the V-shaped, which just makes it a little bit different and quite effective. And as I said, it's really not that difficult. It's really easy to do on yourself and on clients as well. So I'm going to take my black now. Again, I tend to do the black in 2 thinner layers rather than doing 1 thicker layer. So I'm going to start just at the corner. I'm going to bring it across to the V. What I'd say with the black is there isn't much room for error. So just make sure you don't let it go underneath the nail. Wipe it off before it goes under the lamp, because obviously once it goes under, it will cure and then you'll end up with a hard lump of gel. So again, I'm just keeping it nice and thin. Cap the ends. Again, don't worry if the first layer's not fully covered, if you've got a little bit of an area that's more transparent. So I've just done my first layer, pop that one under, and then my second layer will then give it the full coverage. Depending on the length of the nail, I've got this also on my toes at the moment, so when I done it on my toes, because the nail's not so long, I just done 1 layer of black as the smile line. And again on the toes, because the nail was shorter, I kept it as a round smile line rather than the V-shaped, just because there wasn't much length there. So you can, you know, alter it to suit your client's nails and your own nails as well. I would definitely say this is a good one to do on yourself as well, because it actually looks really effective, but it's easy to do. So for me, doing my other hand, using my left hand, is always tricky. And when I'm teaching, people always say, how do you manage to do your other hand? But it really is just practice. So ever since I first started doing nails 14 years ago, I always done my own nails, because I found that I learned so much from doing my own, seeing if they lifted, they cracked, looking at the shape of the nail. And then ever since then, I'm just too fussy to go somewhere else. So I always say, do your own and you will learn so much. So all I'm doing here is just making sure I've got even coverage, capping round, make sure I haven't got it underneath the nail. It's going to go in for the last time. Obviously, keep your pots away from your lamp. Wipe my little brush. Now with the glitter that I'm going to put over the top of this has got a gold and a black glitter mixed into 2. It just gives a really pretty effect over the top. Instead of using a flat gold, which can look quite dense and quite heavy, this just gives a little bit of variation. But again, depending on what brand you're working with, whether it's a gel polish or a soak-off gel, you might find they have different ones that would work really well with this. So when I'm putting the glitter on, instead of brushing it, I'm almost just going to tap it just really gently. With glitter, it can be quite difficult to get that even coverage. So instead of sort of brushing it, just move it into place, because you want those big bits of glitter to cover over the black, obviously keeping it in that line that you've created. So I'm just moving it around with the tip of my brush. So as I said, if you want to comment below, please do. I will do my very best to answer for you if you've got any questions, or if you've maybe got some really good party nail ideas or designs that you want to share with your fellow next steppers. Please post them, share them with us, or if you've got any questions, as I said, we'd love to hear from you. So I'm just going to do 1 layer of my glitter. Check the nail from side. Make sure you wipe underneath and make sure you cap the ends. I'm going to pop that just under my lamp. So I find I only need to use the 1 layer of glitter. Again, you don't want to build your nails up too thick. And then what I'm going to do is, like I've done on this thumb, I'm going to lay 3 gems on top. So when this nail comes out, it will still be tacky. So I've got some little rhinestones here in my pot. Now these ones are raised rhinestones. My actual favourite ones are the flat rhinestones, because they sit flat to the nail and they're easier to seal over with the gel and less likely to come off and be caught. So all I'm going to do on one end of my little wooden orange stick, I'm just going to pop a little bit of top coat on, just so I can pick the gems up. Some people use blue tack, some people wet it slightly. I just find that makes it easier. So these do have a right side and a wrong side. So they've got a flat side, which is going to go onto the nail, and then they've got a raised side, which is going to be on the top. So I'm just going to do one just below. And sometimes when you're doing like these party nails, it's really nice to mix it up. Not every nail has to be the same. Some people have just the ring fingers with gems on. Some people just have the thumbs. Today I've done my thumbs, the next finger along, and then my ring finger, and left the other two free. It's really personal preference. The fashion now obviously is to have all these nails different, so it's good just to have a play around. So I've just laid them on top of the nail like so, and then I'm going to use my sealer gel or a clear gel just to cover over the top of it. When I'm working over the top of my gems or my rhinestones, I'll do one layer and then I'll cure it, and then I'll do a second layer just to make sure that they're sealed in. So I'm just going to cover the side of the nail first, and I'm going to be really gentle when I'm just working over and around the gems, just until I've actually sealed them in place, because otherwise you could pull them off. Keeping it again away from the cuticle. Bring it round. And then I'm just going to just gently drizzle some of the gel just over the top of the rhinestones. So I just turn the nail to the side just to make sure I'm sealing it in, so they're going to stay in place. But as I said, what I'll do is I'll cure the first layer and then I'll come back and do a second layer. So just really pretty, really simple, especially if you've got like a black tie-do to go to. So tonight, as I said, I'm going to a Christmas event, and the theme is black and gold. So I thought this would be a really good one to show you. Simple and quick and really effective. So once this comes out, one more layer, and then we'll wipe off. And then I really like to just gloss it with a normal top coat, or if you've got a UV top coat, you could do that as well. And then obviously you can take that on and off just to refresh it. Okay, so final layer. Make sure obviously your gems have stayed in place. Just wipe over the nail underneath, and then just gently drizzle some of the gel over the rhinestones. Okay, check you're happy with it. And then that's going to go under for one last time. Move that over there, wipe your brush. And then when that comes out, I'm going to use my Dual Cleanse, or if it's UV Wipe Off. The Salon System Profile, they do a really lovely wipe off that actually works well with pretty much most brands. So that's definitely one that I would recommend. Or as I said, if you've got your specific one that you're working with for your gel polish, you can use that. But always remember this stage. This is the stage at which most people forget, and I get new students especially say, why is my nail still sticky? It's just because you've simply forgotten this stage. So when it comes out, don't touch it. You're going to just wipe over, so be nice and firm. And if at this stage, obviously you needed to file, you could, but you shouldn't need to. And with gels especially, what I would say is don't file them afterwards too much, because you'll break that seal. Okay, and then all I'm going to do just to finish is just a normal top coat over the top of it. So this, just your simple, quick, effective party nails. As I said, it can be done on your toes, it can be done on a longer nail, a shorter nail, different colours. But really, really effective. So fingers and then your thumbs. I hope you've all enjoyed it. As I said, if you've got any other questions that you want me to answer, or if you want to share any of your own nails that you've been doing for the party season, post them below and we'll come back to you. Thank you.